This is quite a historic event for us. We are so excited about this beautiful, beautiful building. It is remarkable that after 30 some odd years in this community that we have a permanent place to call home. This building behind me houses administration and all of our prevention programs. We have a cottage out back that provides all of our clinical staff with a permanent place to provide therapy and counseling to victims of child abuse. And to the west, we have our child protection team that provides all the forensic and medical exams to the abuse victims in our community.
I think more than anything, what that means to our community is that we will live on into the future and be able to provide quality care for thousands of kids in our community. In addition to this building and the ones that Melinda spoke of, we also have the community's only emergency shelter for children. And in addition to that facility, we have 3 group homes that provide long-term care for kids that are in foster care. And we started a new venture this year, the
Center for the Arts and Bistro.
Center for the Arts and Bistro, which is an awesome. We are so fortunate. We not only have an artist, but a chef that is running that bistro for us. And she has art classes, cooking classes, wine and art, paint nights. It's phenomenal what's happening over there. And that's at 930 12th Street West.
Well, Carol is our founder, and she has provided me over the years not only a historical view of what happened during the beginning stages of this organization, but also she's really impressed on me the vision that she had and the other folks that helped her found this agency, what their vision was as well. And so as our guide, we have now come to this moment, and we're so very proud of that, and so proud to still have such a wonderful relationship and friendship with her. And it was only fitting to dedicate this building after her. Well, I tried to keep that a secret. Sometimes that's difficult because in spite of her advanced age, she is still very keen. So, and she knows me pretty well. So it was pretty hard to keep it from her, but I think we did surprise her.
Get in touch with us at our main number, which is 941-345-1200. We'd love to have their support through volunteering. We have the Cattlemen's Ball coming up October 3rd at the Civic Center that we would love to have people come out and show their support at a fun-filled night, dinner, dance, and auction. And they can find us on our website at www.manateechildrenservices.com to keep updated on what we've got going on. I think this community needs to know and to fully understand that what Manatee Children's Services strives to do is to provide child victims of abuse and neglect in our community with a full spectrum of care, between residential safe place to live, between therapy for child victims, parenting classes for parents working hard to get their kids back. We provide in one campus so many services for our community, and it is specifically for child victims of abuse.
Manatee County Schools and Manatee County government have had a long-standing partnership and collaboration for the services for children. I just finished touring this house and meeting Mrs. Chamberlain. It was her vision many years ago, probably over 20 years ago, that saw a need. And in touring this, I went through the different offices, which are set up like little rooms. And if I were a parent struggling with the death of a child, if I were a young parent or even a grandparent that is now trying to raise children, as our families struggle and sometimes get fractured, this is a place of healing and this is a place of hope. And I just walked through lots of rooms with many services. So if you're out there and you hear this and you're having any issues in your family with your children, this is should be your first stop here on 9th Ave. They are, and when children can get hope, when families can have hope and healing, children do better in school. When children do better in school, they do better in life. It's just that simple. It's our community that reaches out, and it's just a helping hand from one family to another, and that's what you'll find here.
I want to thank everybody for coming today. It gives with great pride that we have this opportunity to do the ribbon cutting today for this building, to say that we actually have a home here in Bradenton. That's not something we're renting, but we have actual ownership of it. We're very proud, and we want to thank you all for coming. Each of you is a vital part of what we do, just by being a party to it and helping us and donating and coming to the events that we have. So we want to say thank you. Now I'm going to have Melinda cut the ribbon.
Carol. Chief is not going to have any more children.
Two, one.
There you go.
Yay!
I can't thank you all enough. This is a wonderful honor. Thank you.
Okay, well, it's most fitting, and you have inspired so many of us, certainly including me. And I think it's been a great privilege to be associated with this wonderful organization. You have great leadership here. Chief Tokajer, thank you, for your leadership, and Gigi and Melinda and all, just a fabulous staff here. So, Carol, God bless you. So many children have been made better. This community is certainly better because of you. Thanks again.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. This has been an exciting time for this agency and its history. We are so proud to have Carol here and the ability to donate this beautiful building after her, and we are just so thankful to have had her as a historian and a guide. Please enjoy some of the refreshments that we have. I don't know if you've had a chance to look around. Most of you might have already, but because of the heat and some other elements, we decided to do this just a little bit early. But thank you very much for coming, and enjoy yourself.
I was a protective services worker for the Department of Health and Rehabilitative Services, and frequently we had to go out on police calls for a child that was being found in bad condition. And one night I had to pick up a little girl. And this is routine, but this is an especially trying night for my patience and endurance, because we had no shelter home, of course, as we've established that. And I had to go to the police station and call all the licensed foster homes to find out if they had an empty bed. And I wasn't doing very well finding a bed for this little girl. I got kind of annoyed, and I began kind of speaking out of turn. I think it's just awful that the state wants us to protect these children, but they don't come up with a wherewithal to help us obtain a shelter home. So I did some research to find out how other counties answered that problem. Turns out that the shelter homes were not provided by any public monies, but they were provided by churches and charitable organizations. I said, well, there's nothing to do but create a charitable organization in Manatee County dedicated to the children. And I didn't have any idea how to start, but I just shot from the hip, still writing letters and talking a lot in public, as I'm doing right now, to generate some enthusiasm for the children. It took a long time. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. But thank God here we are tonight in this beautiful building on this lovely street with so much joy around us, because patience is its own reward, and here we are.
And it's morphed, from providing, shelter home for those children who shouldn't be staying in some place where it's dangerous, into providing many services to address, child abuse and the effects of it. And that's also, due to your leadership. What do you think about, how it's, morphed into doing so many things?
Well, I have to give all that credit to Melinda and her staff, excellent people with total commitment to their tasks. And they have seen various areas where they can make a difference, and they found the right staffing and the right people and had the right training. And I'm very proud that we haven't really had any glitches or any unfortunate problems over the years. We've been here 35 years now. It's a long time. And I couldn't be more proud of the people who make Manatee Children's Services what it is.
It's an amazing change for over the years, going from place to place, moving our facilities to locations and rentals, and now to actually have a building that we can say is ours, that we own, and we could take ownership of it. And the other facilities around it is just an amazing thing. And to have some of the people here, like Carol Chamberlain, the founder, to have her here and take part in this dedication of this building is just amazing for us, to have somebody that's that passionate about what it is that we've taken on, because we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for her. So she's the spearhead that started it. I've been blessed to be a part of this Manatee Children's Services for almost 25 years. I've been the president for 22. I just love the organization and what they do for the children of this community and the surrounding communities. Well, we have the blessing of having people that we've hired on that have been here for many, many years, almost as many years as I've been with the organization. We have our CEO's been here for 15 years, our COO almost 15 years. It's amazing. We don't have a turnover because they love what they do. They're passionate about what they do for the kids, and it makes a difference. And you could see it in them. Everything that they do is to benefit these children and the abused and neglected, and it makes a difference in this community, and people need to know, and they need to actually take part and try and help us out with our organization and our fundraisers, because that's what keeps us going.
Emotionally, it's very touching. I'm so proud of the staff here and those who are driving Manatee Children's Services, to help prevent and address the child abuse in our community. And I take many thanks, to Carol Chamberlain, who a long time ago, I was working with her husband on my board of trustees in my church, and she asked me to join with, some other who were visionaries about what could be done in this community to address child abuse and neglect. And I was privileged to work with some great people. Many of them have gone on now, because this was back over 30 years ago. But still, Leon Robinson, Richard Buckle, they were early folks. Reverend John White just passed on. Brian Flynn, who's head of Rolec Academy now. He was on the board with me, was secretary when I was president back then. And touring this with Gigi just a few minutes ago, I'm still kind of choked up at how wonderful it is. Going from a time when we had headquarters on Manatee Avenue at about 2700 block, and then up at 53rd, and then Orange Blossom, and it's moved around, but this is just really a great facility and beautifully done for addressing the needs of this community. And Carol will be here in a little bit, and I just want to hug her. We got a lot of stories going back to when, just before we had any kind of government funding or anything, to have sidewalk sales and things like that to try to raise money and bring to focus the needs, in this community. I'm just grateful to this community to respond as it has and will continue to respond. It's a great need. Got wonderful people here working, just a great staff. I'm half choked up right now because of how wonderful it is, and I just hope the community will continue to respond. It needs, public charitable support as well as any kind of government to make it go. But thank you very much for, being here with MTV. It got started really because Carol Chamberlain, who very legitimately is called the founder, was working with HRS, Health and Rehabilitative Services, and she saw how there was just a gap in services in this community regarding abused and neglected children, and a place to immediately take kids, from an abusive situation. And that was kind of the first thing we did, was to, have a place, a loving home for them. And then we got into more preventive services. And now I think Gigi is better to explain the multitude of services that are now being provided to the children. Counseling. Over in this other building, you have a pediatric child abuse physician who's available. For particular situations, there's teaching, there's painting, all sorts of things for helping kids, recover, address, the abuse and neglect that occurs. And Gigi and staff are better, able to go into the details, but it's a wonderful, wonderful organization. Thank you.